I, male 27, am suing my brother, male 41, and my girlfriend, female 23, wants me to disown my parents too. Is she right? Original post. I previously deleted the post just to be safe. But here's a summary. After I got a degree in computer science, my brother and his two partners recruited me to work a summer job for them. They wanted me to set up their infrastructure for their new company in finance and investments. One summer turned into 2 years of free work as a secretary, receptionist, systems tech, personal assistant, accountant, research analyst. They paid me about 4 or 5 times, totaling about $7,000 to $8,000 in 2 years. When I left to start grad school, they were mad that I wouldn't stay. When I finished grad school and put them on my resume, they lied to prospective employers about me. They denied I worked for them and said I was trying to use my brother's name to get ahead. They also accused me of visiting their office and sexually harassing female employees they never even had. I called them to ask them about it, and they, including my brother, just laughed about the whole thing and said I was getting what I deserved. Kind of like it's what you get when you fifth us. My counselor and some other people from school, including my headhunter, helped me get a job. But I had to sue my brother and his partners for slander and other things. My brother called me to laugh about the lawsuit when they got served, but now they're scared, and my brother has my dad pressuring me to drop the lawsuit and just sit down with them both to work something out. My dad called this just a little big brother bullying little brother nonsense and demanded I drop the lawsuit. He and my mom uninvited me to Thanksgiving at their house, but my mom pretty much tried to stay out of it. I could tell this was hard for her. There's very little to update legally in terms of the lawsuit, but I had a laptop that contained lists of clients that my brother and his partners stole from their respective employers before they left to start the company. I didn't want to turn those files over to my attorney because things are bad enough for them already. My girlfriend had a different opinion. She wants me to just absolutely let them have it and crush them. I called my attorney and told him I had the files and dropped them off at his firm on the 9th. On the 10th, I got a call from his firm saying that my attorney needed to see me that very day. And I went in and he said that the files would be turned over to the U.S. Attorney's office, so it's out of our hands now. But he really wanted to talk to me about my parents. He spoke to my dad and basically said that my dad is a world-class prick. He's going to subpoena both my parents to testify at a deposition and probably a trial if we make it that far. He wanted me to prepare myself for what they might say about me. He made it clear there is no turning back now. I didn't pay anything for my attorney to take the case, so his firm is very financially invested in this now. Basically, they're calling the shots now. I think my attorney thinks I'm weak or that I'll want to back off or take it easy on them. He actually told me that he knows my family would weaken me. I think he underestimates me. Anyway, he told me to just brace myself for the heat my dad will bring on me. I told him I had 2 older sisters on my side and my mother was pretty neutral. He assured me that my mother is absolutely not neutral, so he just told me to prepare for anything. So I got phone calls from my 2 sisters who both live about 300 miles away. They were disgusted with my dad and my brother's behavior and had told me they were 100% behind me. Now they told me that my girlfriend and I are uninvited to go see them and their children this Christmas. They told me they loved me, but that I needed to back off of this lawsuit. This was a little bit of a shock. It didn't crush me, but it wasn't easy to hear. They won't be contacting me anymore and want me to not contact them. And they said they have their reasons. They both cried when they called, but I stayed calm. They also emailed my girlfriend to let her know about being uninvited to their homes for Christmas. My girlfriend blasted them both with a very scathing response that I wish she hadn't sent, but it's her decision how she responds to them. My dad is getting a little out of control. He confronted me and my girlfriend outside the house of a family friend who had us over for a holiday get-together on Sunday night. It got heated and I said some things that were probably below the belt and made him almost cry. His eyes watered and he was trying to not cry. Then my girlfriend jumped in and blasted him like she did my sisters. Basically, she's on a roll right now. When I can tell the gloves have come off for her. My mom just stayed in my dad's truck and watched, but she couldn't hear anything, I don't think. For now, there's nothing else going on. Oh, one other thing. My attorney said my brother and his partners closed doors on their business already. They went under. They have filed some puzzling and contradictory responses to our lawsuit, which surprises me because my brother is smarter than that, usually. They have now changed attorneys and retained a reputable firm. The first thing the new attorneys did is ask what it would take to settle. My attorney says their new attorneys are smart. They know it will be a bloodbath in court. I guess I'll just have to wait and see where it goes from here. But some of you commented from experience that the blowback from legal battles like this tears families apart for decades sometime. I can see how this can happen and probably will. Edit. Some of you are asking about why my sisters changed their minds. I know now that my dad helped them both buy their respective houses. They both still owe him a lot of money for that. My best guess is he used that and maybe other things to coerce them into taking his side. Now, for the update. Okay, let me begin by saying that I am not the original poster. I am his girlfriend. We live together, and I read the update post. My boyfriend is moving on and wasn't going to post a last update, so I asked if I could, and he said yes. Things have wrapped up. They signed a settlement agreement, and now it's up to the judge to approve it. The judge won't do that for 2 more weeks. but apparently it's a formality. It's a sure thing he'll approve it is what the attorneys say anyway. As far as the settlement, I can't really disclose much, but I can say that it's close to what my boyfriend was suing for in terms of money. They had transferred their houses to their wives' names, which are in the process of being sold to pay off the settlement. The settlement included a written apology and complete admission of guilt from all three of the defendants. They also have to write apology letters and retractions to all the employers that refused to hire my boyfriend based on them slandering him. And I think there were 4 companies in all. All 3 of them had their license taken away and will never work as financial advisors again in any state, apparently. They also will face a criminal investigation due to some forged signatures on some of the deals they made, which will lead to conviction, but probably no jail time, according to the experts. Financially, they are beyond ruin, which is what I thought they deserved the whole time. And I know my boyfriend regrets this whole thing, and I understand that. It's still his family, and they were close at some point. I think he's better off without them anyway, but that's easy for me to say. His parents are totally a lost cause. I don't think there will be a reconciliation in this lifetime after what's happened. I thought my boyfriend would be open to one when the dust settled, but now I don't. During the mediation hearings, his mom and dad both testified. They both lied, but I knew his crooked dad would. I was shocked that the mother lied about there having been a verbal agreement that my boyfriend would work for his brother's company in exchange for room and board at the parents' house, and that the dad had also been paying him in cash for working. She said she witnessed my boyfriend refusing payment from his brother many times. She lied about a lot of other very hurtful things right there while my boyfriend sat there and watched her. She never looked at him, not once. His dad never looked at him either, but at least he sat there the whole time after he testified to support his older son and his friends. His mother left the room crying after she testified. I was not shocked that she testified because the attorney had said she might, but I was extremely shocked about the horrible things she said about my boyfriend. She will someday regret doing that to her son. Ugh, such an awful and just revolting and repulsive thing what she did. What she did to her youngest son is inexcusable. I was utterly disgusted that she did that. She really has no clue how much damage she did to her youngest son. I doubt he'll ever get over it. And I doubt he will ever want to see her again. Not to rant about the mother, but she lied and said disgusting things about her youngest son. And he's the only good son she has. He's the only one who doesn't owe his dad anything. He's the only one with compassion and high morals. The only one who constantly worried about her and kept in touch with her. She messed up in the most disgusting way. How can she do that? He was there for her more than her other 3 kids put together. All for a lawsuit that she had to know they were going to lose. Her testimony did nothing to help their case, nothing. She testified for absolutely no reason. We sent Christmas gifts to my boyfriend's sisters and their daughters. We received thank you cards in return. They haven't contacted my boyfriend since, but I have received a couple of hello emails from one of them. She never mentions my boyfriend or the family problem. She just says hello and asks how I'm doing. I just respond by saying we are both good and hope they are all doing well. I'm not sure where this will go, but it's a small step in what seems like will be a long road before they are allowed by their father to reconcile with their brother, or until they have the courage to do so without the dad's blessing. I think they are both too embarrassed to contact my boyfriend directly. I can sense that they are trying to find a way that will eventually lead them to him. I think they need to just contact him, but that's not my decision. I keep looking at this from my perspective, and my family is really close, so it's hard to watch what's going on with his family. I just think, what the hell? Why do you do this to each other? But that's just how it is. Just to be clear, I knew very early on that my boyfriend's parents were toxic. I initially just wanted him to cut all ties with them with the way they sided with the older brother. Knowing how he tried to destroy my own little brother's career told me a lot. I wished back then that my boyfriend would just disown them, but I knew that was unrealistic at the time. I knew I was emotional, and I backed off when I saw how stressed my boyfriend was. But things escalated, and now I think my boyfriend's mom has dealt a death blow to any chance of reconciliation. I'm not just saying that because I'm against it. I'm not for it, and I'm disgusted with her. But I can see the damage she did up close. I'm afraid he may never forgive her. She just went overboard in such a horrible way. I have been talking to my dad about this the whole time, and everything has turned out exactly as he said it would. Everybody, all parties are destroyed. It's like a bomb went off and everybody got hit. Story 2. Am I the asshole for telling my stepdad and mom that they shouldn't be surprised at what my little brother said to them when they pulled a prank on him? Original post. I, 20 female, am an older sister to my little biological brother, 17 male, who finished high school last year. My little brother and I are really close. He says I'm the best friend he has, and he loves me more than anyone. Of course, this is not true. He has many friends of his own. My brother has been asking our stepdad mother if he could get a new car for his grad party since last year, and he said he'd pay 50 to 75% with his own hard-earned money while they paid the rest. They said no. I have a car, but I had been working for one. They helped me pay off for it. So my brother's arguments with our parents got heated after all. One time I told my brother that I'd help him pay off expenses for a good car once I got my own. He hugged me and said I didn't need to worry and that he owed me way more than I owed him. But he continued to press our parents all of last year until they gave in and said yes like they did for me. Note that our stepdad and my brother have a negative relationship for the most part. Our bio mother and stepdad got together soon after our bio dad and mom divorced when we were little. My brother thinks that stepdad and mother were seeing each other before our real parents divorced, and to be honest, I think that might be true. Not certain though. Anyway, my stepdad, mother, and brother compromised and said they'd get him the car in 2021 so that people don't gawk at him at the graduation party. June this year, my brother and stepdad, mother are still talking about the car. Now the arguments are getting loud and lasting hours until evening. My stepdad was getting into screaming matches with my brother over it, but they reached a final compromise of the car being bought last week. The fateful morning comes and my brother wakes up to our stepdad and mom guiding him outside to a car, but not his, our mother's. Stepdad used his and my brother's money on a dumb prank, bought a completely different model of car, and said it was for our mother. Our mom and stepdad just laughed and kissed each other. My brother didn't lose it. He didn't even look angry. He just looked dead in our stepdad's eyes and said, and I'm not joking, verbatim, you might think I'm fucking stupid, you might think whatever, but I'm just better than you, bro. You know that? I know that. And our mom is a fucking idiot for staying with a prick like you, but I'll make you wish you'd never fucking met us. I promise you. You might be laughing now, but you'll be crying later. He then walked off, not even looking back at them as they stared horrified. They asked me what was that about, and I, feeling terrible for my brother, said they had it coming and not to be surprised. So now they grounded both of us. I've had to explain the situation to my friends as I can't see them anymore, but I feel so bad for my baby brother, and they back me up on this and asked me to comfort him as much as possible. But our parents are so mad, and they can't see that my brother had his heart crushed. Am I the asshole? Comments OP replies before reading the update. Dick's officials, not the asshole. That was really cruel and they used your brother's money for it. But also, how can you be grounded when you're 20 years old? Oh, OP. Well, I still live with them, so it is what it is. Vinny Capistrano. Info. So, if I'm understanding correctly, they took your brother's money, put it towards a new EER car for your mom, and are giving your brother your mom's old car. Not the asshole. What your mom and stepdad did is deceitful, cruel, and borderline criminal, and both you and your brother would be 100% justified in going no contact with these demented crooks. OOP. Yep, but they gave mom's old car away months ago. She had to use public transport to get around. Terrible situation. Vinny Capistrano. So they used your brother's money to go toward a car for your mom and your brother still has no car? OOP. Yep. But stepdad said that mom and my brother can share the car, which doesn't make things better. Westkin. Info. I didn't understand the most important part of the post. Did you say your stepfather stole your brother's money and bought your mother a car? OOP. No, he didn't steal it. I'm sorry, I could have clarified better. Before stepdad purchased the car, my brother and stepdad pooled the money for the car to spend in a single purchase. Now, for the update. In the time away from the post, it kind of blew up in me out. My brother and I appreciate everyone tuning in with their insights. I took a break from work today to call my biological dad. Since I'm over the age of 18 in our state, custody arrangements aren't as stringent on me and my brother in a few weeks. My biological father legally sees us 40% of the time and my bio mother 60%. I have the legal right to choose if I should stay with my bio mom and her husband and my biological dad, who in my opinion is a much better fit. My brother and I have agreed our biological dad is the only way out of this madness, so we're going to move out. We'll raise the issue in court if need be. We need to get away from this madness. Right after writing the post and getting comments suggesting legal action, I talked to my brother about it. He's still kind of feeling awkward about it, but he feels certain that's the route he will take so as not to pass any statute of limitations, since in a few weeks he will be an 18-year-old. I'm certain a few weeks is fairly safe, though LOL. I am not legally smart at all, nor is my brother, but we're getting good at this stuff. He got robbed and he deserves his money back. A few comments mentioned the setting up of a GoFundMe. My brother wants everyone to know that he appreciates the gesture, but asks people not to do that to themselves. He is adamant about taking his stepfather to court over this and said that the messages of support were extremely touching. He wants everyone to donate somehow to him to keep their money and use it to better themselves and their families. And all the offers of free cars from working mothers to him broke him. He said people with families deserve their cars more than he does at his age. Lastly, I end this by saying thank you to everyone for my brother's sake and for my own. We realize what a terrible situation we are in, but we're taking steps to get away. It means a lot. Edit, if it's meaningful to anyone, the car my baby brother wanted was around $180,000. 75% of that purchase, so $135,000, was pooled with the remainder of the money my stepfather had. My father purchased a cheaper car with his own and my brother's money. Is $135,000 worth going to court over?